Hello everyone. Welcome to Slurp Knowledge, a channel where we share health and science knowledge in short, easy-to-digest videos, just like instant noodles for your brain. Please note the knowledge in this video is gathered from various scientific sources. If you have any ideas, corrections, or thoughts to add, feel free to leave a comment below. Overview of the immune system. Imagine the human body as a living city. In this city, each cell is a citizen, each organ is a functional district, and for the city to exist safely, it needs a constantly operating defense system. The immune system is that system. The immune system is a collection of organs, cells, and molecules whose task is to recognize, block, and eliminate foreign elements that enter the body, such as bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins, as well as damaged or abnormally altered cells. The greatest role of the immune system is not only to fight disease, but to maintain a stable internal environment so that life can continue. Interestingly, the immune system does not wait until we become ill to function. Even when you are sleeping, eating, or completely healthy, the immune system is silently patrolling, monitoring, and repairing. Every day, thousands of abnormal cells are generated and eliminated without us ever knowing. By nature, the immune system has two main types: innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is the defense system present from birth. It reacts quickly but is non-specific. Adaptive immunity develops more slowly, but it has memory and very high precision. These two systems work together to form three lines of defense. The first line consists of physical and chemical barriers such as the skin, mucous membranes, and secretions. The second line includes innate immune cells and the inflammatory response. The third line is adaptive immunity with B cells, T cells, and antibodies. From here, we will explore each of these defense lines in greater depth, beginning with the most silent protective layer, innate immunity. Innate immunity, the first line of defense. As soon as a pathogen attempts to invade, the first thing it encounters is not immune cells, but the body's protective barriers. The skin is a natural suit of armor. It not only blocks microorganisms mechanically, but also creates a dry, slightly acidic environment and contains many antimicrobial substances that make survival difficult for bacteria. In areas not covered by skin, mucous membranes appear like a soft net. These membranes secrete mucus to trap microorganisms and dust, then expel them through cilia movement or reflexes such as coughing and sneezing. Secretions such as tears and saliva contain the enzyme lysozyme, which can break down bacterial cell walls. Stomach acid creates an extremely harsh environment, killing most pathogens that enter the body with food. If these barriers are breached, the invaders encounter innate immune cells. Neutrophils are shock troops that respond very quickly. They move to the site of infection, engulf and digest bacteria, and often die after completing their mission, forming pus. Macrophages are longer-lived gatekeepers. They not only destroy pathogens but also clean up dead cells while simultaneously sending information about the invader to the adaptive immune system. Natural killer cells are different. They do not need detailed identification. They only detect cells showing signs of being abnormal, especially virus-infected cells or cancer cells, and directly destroy them by inducing programmed cell death. Compared to macrophages, neutrophils respond faster but have a shorter lifespan. Macrophages act more slowly but are more persistent and play a key role in linking the two immune systems. When these cells are mobilized, a familiar phenomenon appears: inflammation. Inflammation is a physiological response of living tissue to injury or infection. It is not a disease, but a sign that the immune system is working. The classic signs of inflammation include redness, heat, swelling, pain, and sometimes temporary loss of function. These signs result from blood vessel dilation, increased blood flow, and the movement of immune cells to the injured area. Inflammation is beneficial because it isolates pathogens, mobilizes defense forces, and stimulates repair processes. However, if inflammation is excessive or prolonged, it can damage tissues and become a cause of disease. The inflammatory response follows a sequence: recognition of injury, release of mediators such as histamine, dilation of blood vessels, and increased vessel permeability, followed by the migration of white blood cells to the inflamed site to eliminate harmful agents. Histamine plays the role of opening the vascular gates, allowing immune cells to exit into tissues more easily, but it is also responsible for swelling and itching. When inflammation has completed its task, the immune system requires more specialized players to ensure complete elimination of the invader. This is when adaptive immunity appears. White blood cells are the general name for immune cells circulating in the blood and tissues. Some belong to innate immunity, while others belong to adaptive immunity. The core difference between these two groups lies in specificity and memory. Innate immune cells respond quickly without detailed discrimination. Adaptive immune cells respond more slowly but retain long-term memory. Among immune cells, there are specialized cells known as professional antigen-presenting cells, including macrophages, dendritic cells, and B cells. They have the ability to present antigen fragments to T cells. Macrophages are considered a bridge because they participate in innate immunity while also activating adaptive immunity through antigen presentation. From here, the story moves into a more sophisticated chapter: adaptive immunity. An antigen is any foreign molecule capable of triggering an immune response. Each B cell carries a specific receptor on its surface that recognizes only one particular antigen. This specificity is achieved through random gene recombination during B cell development. When the matching antigen appears, the B cell is activated, rapidly multiplies, and differentiates. Some become plasma cells, the factories that produce antibodies. Others become memory cells, which persist long-term in the body. Thanks to memory cells, a second infection is often milder, faster, and sometimes asymptomatic. The antibodies produced by plasma cells lead us to the next topic. Antibodies, precision weapons. Antibodies are specific proteins produced by plasma cells that can bind precisely to antigens. They combat antigens through multiple mechanisms: neutralizing toxins, preventing viruses from attaching to cells, and marking pathogens for destruction by other immune cells. Specificity allows the immune system to target the correct enemy while avoiding widespread damage. However, antibodies function only outside cells. Once a virus enters a cell, antibodies cannot reach it. At this point, the immune system needs another pathway: humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. Humoral immunity is an immune response based on antibodies circulating in body fluids. It is particularly effective against extracellular bacteria and toxins. Unlike cell-mediated immunity, humoral immunity does not directly destroy infected cells but neutralizes external agents. For intracellular viruses, however, the immune system relies on T cells. T cells, the silent warriors. Antigen-presenting cells display antigen fragments through the MHC complex for recognition by T cells. Without this step, T cells cannot be activated. Helper T cells act as commanders. They secrete cytokines to activate B cells, macrophages, and cytotoxic T cells. Without helper T cells, the entire immune system is weakened. Cytotoxic T cells destroy virus-infected cells by inducing programmed cell death. Unlike NK cells, cytotoxic T cells require recognition of a specific antigen. This coordination forms the foundation of immune memory and leads to the concepts of active and passive immunity. Active immunity occurs when the body generates its own immune response after infection or vaccination. Passive immunity occurs when antibodies are transferred from an external source, such as from mother to child. Active immunity creates immune memory through the formation of memory cells, whereas passive immunity does not. This explains why vaccination is so important. Vaccines work on the principle of training in advance. They introduce weakened or inactivated antigens into the body that do not cause disease, but are sufficient to stimulate an immune response. Memory cells are formed, enabling the body to respond quickly when encountering the real pathogen. Because immune memory can decline over time, booster shots are necessary. Vaccination is a form of artificial active immunity. Immunodeficiency occurs when the immune system functions poorly due to congenital causes, disease, or medication. HIV is a classic example, as the virus attacks helper T cells. Autoimmune diseases occur when the immune system makes a mistake and attacks the body's own tissues due to loss of immune tolerance. Examples include lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and type 1 diabetes. Ultimately, all of this leads us to deeper thinking questions. Adaptive immunity is slower because it requires time for recognition and clonal expansion, but it is long-lasting due to immune memory. Without inflammation, pathogens would spread uncontrollably. Newborns have immunity thanks to antibodies transferred from the mother. Vaccines do not work instantly because the body needs time to generate a response. And although the same virus may infect different people, each person becomes ill differently because every immune system is a unique biological fingerprint. The immune system does not exist solely to fight disease, but to keep life functioning normally every day. When it is healthy, we are almost unaware of its presence, yet within that silence, millions of biological decisions are constantly being made. Innate immunity responds quickly to stop immediate threats, while adaptive immunity acts more slowly but retains long-term memory. This coordination allows the body not only to overcome a single attack, but also to be better prepared for future ones. Therefore, each immune system is a unique story, shaped by genetics, environment, and experience. Understanding this helps us appreciate our bodies more and care for them not through excessive worry, but through knowledge and balance.